Darn camera's running again. Hey, you know what? I want to talk to you about something. I tried not to go on a rabbit trail with this as far as thoughts go, but I was kind of going down the road of, there's a lot of weird stuff during this election time and this season, and actually the era in which we are living in here in the United States of America, and where conspiracy theories are making the conversion from theories to facts. And which means conspiracy theories are no longer theories. And I know Alex Jones takes a beating over there at InfoWars. He just takes a beating. But what cracks me up is everything he says is starting to become true. And so I crack up at all these people. Oh, Alex Jones is a conspiracy theorist. He's become a factist. Go ahead and watch him, and you can filter out whatever you want. But it also brings me to another point as far as you folks posting news pieces that could potentially be hoaxes and misinformation. And I see the response where people are rashly angry, and I think people who respond or comment under your post that may be incorrect, they respond, they're more interested in responding out of showing how they're smart and you're dumb, rather than politely say, hey, I just found that this story was not in fact true. So those of you who just go and mine for news, even if you're accidentally or inadvertently posting old news, didn't happen to notice the date on the article, I say keep posting and just keep that information flow, because, our assignment is not to castigate you and put you down. Our job is to go out and do the research also. You start it and then we end it, or we keep it going, depending on whether it's true or false. I mean, look at what happens. It's like ants. I mean, it just goes out and people just start mining. The only scary part of this whole thing is we all go to Google, who hates us. So I don't know if we go Bing, Google, somebody's got to come up with a web crawler, Yahoo. I mean, several other ones that also have different database engines. Not every one of them is using the Google engine. They're using the sequential queries and all these other things. So, and then you can go to things like, and actually, Matt Drudge has got a pretty good thing going on too. So, and Alex has got some good stuff. So anyway, that notwithstanding, that really isn't what I was here to talk about today. I wanted to talk about the Cashless Society. Cashless Society. And that sounds, listen to it, it's like remember in Star Trek, I'll bet 5 quatlos. We are actually going to a cashless society, and it is what they want. And when I say they, we have our 3-letter agencies. We've got NSA, we've got FBI, we've got the 4-letter one, FEMA, I guess, and DHS, Department of Homeland Security. We've got CIA. But anyway, we have agencies who are almost in the business of demographics. It's a weird thing. It's a weird animal, collecting data, creating statistics, picking and choosing who's good and who's bad statistically, whether there's an action or not, whether there's an action against you or not. They're starting to kind of parse all this information. Utah desert, big huge database, and your phone calls. So let's look at it this way. Let's just go look in general. So you go to Safeway store or whatever store you have in your neighborhood, and whatever franchise store or even mini store sometimes have a club card, some form of club card. And it's weird because sometimes they tie your club card to your phone number, so you don't have to swipe a card. You can just plug in your telephone number. And a lot of us use our our smartphone number. So you look at this, I am reporting everything I do short of going wee-wee. And so I go in and I buy my groceries, and whatever I buy, and what if I buy alcohol? So if I were to buy beer or something, actually I'm in California, so it wouldn't be wine. But my point is let's say you buy a lot of alcohol every week. You swipe that membership card, or you enter your telephone number to your cell phone, you have just registered yourself into a database of demographic purchasing database that is large, massive amount of size and mass storage. Then the next thing you do is you make your purchase and you swipe your card. So now you've sent out information about what you bought and how much you bought and where you were when you did that transaction. If you leave your GPS on and you have an Android, Google doesn't track you. Google stores your whereabouts, stores it. So there's a database of your travel. So now you're not only telling them how much you spent and what you spent, and you're broadcasting those two items. You're telling them how you got there and where you went after you left that store. Gasoline, whatever it is you do, you are registering your personal behavior, how you conduct your life. Creepy stuff. So here's the deal, is where am I going with this? This whole concept of a cashless society has sort of ripped out the personal part of what you do, the privacy part, and your very personal. For example, you have a family member you want to give $100 to. In a cashless society, you will have to go to your keyboard, enter, get on the internet with your ISP, your internet service provider, from where? Do you do it from your smartphone that broadcasts your whereabouts and you make that connection? You do it this way from an app? You're not only doing it saying where you are, you're saying how much, to whom you're sending it to. So you go to your office, Brian's in his office, he just Western Union this guy, or he moved money from this one to this one, he moved it to somebody who's received money. By law, I should be giving that person a W-9 to fill out. I need to tattle on the person I gave money to because he or she received money from me. This is the way it's working. So I can't even give a family member, my son or somebody, here, take $100, do what you need to do, but buy the socks, buy the shirt, whatever it is. I can't even give my own family $100 now. It's going that way without going in, bootjacking my way into the internet with an IP address, with a location, with the financial transaction, how much it was, and who received it. This is part of the cashless society. And there is a cultural piece of the cashless society. We take the dollar bill. I shouldn't use the dollar bill as an example. What is it for? Wiping your nose? You take cash, and it says "In God We Trust," United States of America, legal tender. Maybe it's got the pyramid with the eye, whatever. It's got a president on it. It's got our history on it. We touch it. We look at it. It gives us a connection to who we are and who we were. It also tells us how we got here in this alleged free society, and then we've got this other three-letter agency, the IRS. They have to know every aspect of government demographics, database, and information collectors. They have to know exactly what you're doing. I mean, one day we're going to have to tinkle in a darn container, I suppose. I mean, how much more do they have to know about us compliant minions? When did the scale tilt to where they are lording over us? It used to be, and the original intent was we lord over them. If you look at a scale, whether you're liberal or conservative, we are supposed to be sitting on the very edge of anarchy. Not way over here where it's a dictatorship, right close to the fine edge of anarchy. Government is supposed to know that you're marginally anarchist. And then between government and that anarchy tendency called the Constitution is law. The law is in there. We follow the law, but we're watching you. So the cashless society is the first part of it. The government healthcare plan is the second part of this whole thing. And then everything you see after that with the Hillary emails and all the oil relationships and all of this is no longer a conspiracy, people. This is what this is the hijacking of your American way of life, your freedom and really absorbing the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. These, mouth-breathing, toothless, ancient documents with our flute and the limping guy. That has seen some archaic, backwards document, and the sheer stupidity of actually taking that attitude boggles the mind, because it's that very document that is making the cashless society all the freedom to move laterally up and down freely. And it's slowly moving to where that document that created what we have today is going to become mute. It's becoming mute. It's time that you, as the citizen, stand up and lord over the government. We'll see how the future is, but I say stay tuned and keep on posting anything you can find. Make it fun. Let's do this thing.